Oh, you consent to being on a live stream. That's new.
That's what they asked you?
Yeah, it says like you have to give your consent to be on this live stream. It is what it is, man.
All right, it's saying we're live now. Let me make sure.
Yeah, I got the notification on my. That was probably the fastest I've got the notification.
You know, YouTube. All right, I see it now. Yeah, so you know, YouTube sometimes be with the.
Well, it's because you're finally doing videos again and everything.
Hey, man.
The respect. You're making them put some respect on the name.
They ain't making me no money, so it's like that's like, man. And my monthly wage is like $5.42. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna make no videos for y'all. We can put ads on my shit.
Yeah. First two gentlemen in the building, Mr. Jerry Norton. What's up, Jerry? And Mr. Carson Ashhead Franklin. Or Elliot Frank, whatever your fucking government name is, actually.
Yo.
I just don't want to say it out loud. What's up, Gary? Anthony Smiley. Anthony, I'm still waiting for you to check your email, man, for that thing. Let me know today if you have it or not. Because I sent it. If I have to resend it somehow, let me know. Great boxes. Ashhead, did you get your shit already? Because I sent it. Did you get it?
I'm gonna be jealous, man.
Yo, he might got his shit, man. And Ashhead, you're not allowed to give anything away yet, but you got to admit it's a fucking hell of a package, isn't it?
Oh, he's talking about he's talking about September?
I don't know. Which one are you talking about? Because I sent him one already. All right. I have to like discreetly move boxes around here, man. This is
Carson, what you talking about? You talking about August or September, man? Got me intrigued now. Adam Wolf, what's going on? Bruce, what is going on? Prince, what's going on, family? SB in the building. Thrill's going on. September. Oh, you already got September.
Now, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, Ashhead, where's it at for you?
You can't include anything above 10 if you want to. Rick G, what's going on? Messy Thrills in the building.
Diamond, what's up, Messy?
Cornell, what's going on?
Messy was the first one with his box this month for September.
Man.
So Messy is actually a lounge member now up here at the, so he figured out he drives by Harrisburg Beer and Cigar like 5 to 6 times a month. So he swung in, we did the song and dance, rolled out the carpet, liked it so much, he's already been back.
That's a good thing.
What's up? Oh, what's up, Alex? I haven't seen you in a minute. Hey, Tim. Yo, it's getting real. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pack these boxes while I'm doing this because I'm gonna get loose and sloppy, you know.
Well, you know what the good thing is at least you don't drink alcohol, so.
I mean, I got my Coke though, so I'm good to go.
But no, man, we appreciate everybody tuning in. The episode of Black and White Ash, man. This is gonna be covering August Cigar of the Month Club. We are pretty much close to the end. You know, me and James' schedule has been pretty hectic, so it's been hard for us to both find a day where we both are able to get on a live stream, but we made sure to make it happen before the month was out. So we're very proud of this past month. We're very proud of the month coming up. So of course, all the members, we would love to hear the feedback from you guys about August. What did you like? What did you not like? All that good stuff. James, you over there as a busy man in this room, moving your hands, man. So what are you doing? What do the good people want to know? What are you doing?
So I am packing the last bit of the September boxes because, life comes at you fast and some cigars show up on a Saturday and they should have been there on a Monday. So, that happens. But the good news is you got a team here, myself, Axel, Troy, they're all taking a break, but everybody's boxes are being packed and most of them are out the door already. And it's a freaking scary thing to know that we have a hell of a package on the way to these people.
I'm excited too. Even when we were talking, it's like we've been talking about it before, when you have the line of ideas scattered out on the table where we're talking about it, it's like, all right, that's going to be a great month. But then it's always a different story when you actually start getting the cigars in hand. So it's like kind of condition myself now to be excited, but not too excited until the cigars actually land. Because one thing I've learned over the first year is until the cigars are actually there, it's you don't know. So
I want to take a step back and so Carson responded. I said 1 to 12 or 1 to 10. 12 because there's a curtain, not a curtain. I know he means certain cigar in that box that I smoked that I don't know how it's in the box. And humbly, I will say, this is how there's females on this chat, big dick energy, right? Ron and I are swinging now. We've got a year under our belt and a month. We've established ourselves. The companies are looking at us. We're building the relationships stronger, better than they were before. So Ash said that's how that cigar happened. And I can tell you that was no easy feat to get that done, but it got done and we have it. And when those pictures hit the internet, it's going to suck for a lot of people because we're closed.
Or people that have left in the past couple months too.
What's up?
Or people that have left in the past couple months too, which and with me saying that, that's not me taking a dig at anybody, because we know that, of course, I have all people understand that priorities shift and things kind of change. Yeah. Financial situations change, but there are some people out there that just have, and James, this too. They have thought that our product hasn't been as good as advertised, so people have jumped out. So,
but I got to learn the art of being nice sometimes, but yeah, I got a haircut, folks. I hate it. They fucked this up. It's not supposed to be like a high fade like this. It's supposed to like blend down. It is what it is. But I appreciate the haircut comments, but I hate it. So, that's going to stay a thing now. Their curtain call cigar that, Carson knows about, that Messy Thrill knows about. Some of you, if you got your packages, know about. That cigar exists because of the work and the quality of the boxes from month one. Like that wasn't just like I paid a lot of money just and begged for that cigar. It was, we've been loyal supporters of the brand and core line products, and they've seen our consistency. They've seen our members, involved in all the other Facebook groups and on Instagram and tagging them. And it took a lot of time, but our products spoke for itself because they realized they could put their cigar in this package and know it would be okay, and knew that it met our standard and it met their standard. And like, it's a huge compliment to everybody involved, not just Ron and I, but that to the membership. Like, you guys have created a foundation that it meets the standard of this cigar. And when you get it, you're going to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, and not even just this month, but just honestly, even curating the club, but looking back on the previous year, we put together some really, really strong boxes, especially for the price point. So it's always good to hear good feedback. But of course, this past month with one of the cigars we featured, I'm just going to be honest too, it was just another BDE moment that we had, where it was just like, if looking as a viewer or looking as a member of the club, if I were to receive this for paying $30 for a club, I would think that something was gravely wrong. So to see certain cigars placed in the club at $30 compared to what I've seen in some other groupings from some other clubs, it's just like, to me, it's a no-brainer. So
exactly. So you want to dive in and talk about that one cigar? Because I mean, I think everybody realized it on, whether it was Lee's video, Smoke and Ledge channel, Carson talked about it a little bit, Vintage Cigar. I mean, it was a $30.10 cigar, which is the cost of your membership for Black Line Luxuries, Ron. And you want to talk about why that cigar made it in, and why you wanted it?
So before I address why it got into and there weren't even negative comments. The only few things I've seen from people, and shout out to the people that are very active and engaging in the Black Line Pride group on Facebook. The few comments I've seen where people enjoyed the cigar, but they didn't know that if they felt that it was worth $30 or not. And to that, my response would be exactly. And so the common person would look at me and be like, what does he mean exactly? Exactly, because you get to smoke this cigar without paying $30 for it. So you can make the judgment on your own. So even if you don't think it's worth the $30 price point, you not only got the chance to smoke that cigar, but you got to smoke it with 3 years age on it for $30, and you got 3 other cigars.
Exactly.
So it's a no-brainer. I don't know what else you want. So me and James have smoked through the whole one-off line. I've been a fan of the one-off series in Illusione for years. Most people that have followed me know that that cigar smokes, and I like the one-off line, period, but that cigar smokes much differently than the other cigars in the one-off series. if you've been following the channel, before Cigar Madness went on pause, that cigar was featured in this year's tournament. So again, like I always say, timestamps and track records are very important. It's not anything you're going to be able to catch me up on. Like, I was just trying to push product. Timestamps prove that I've already been a fan of this cigar. Timestamps prove that I've already loved the Illusione. So everything that I do, everything that James does is very strategic. And this, again, to the common person, if you have any kind of logical thought process, you would understand that there's a trust level there that you should know that's there. It's not trying to push product or not trying to push anything subpar, for a particular reason. So,
I mean, you really look at the market. There's very few $30 and above cigars, right? And and there's a lot of hesitancy. We hear it all the time. And fortunately, the club was in a position to make to make that cigar happen. In a reality. And then I'll just be pretty honest. Sorry, I had to make sure they didn't see that one box wrong. I had to move it around like a table. But it looks like I'm playing with. I'm not fixing my pants. I'm probably I'm putting this box lid back on. But it was a goal of ours to feature that cigar at some point, and we were able to financially and business perspective, we'll be honest, pulled off at a certain time. But then for them to entrust us with 2018 versions of that, because I don't want to say
that's
cigar,
a big deal, man.
Yeah, because listen, we've talked about it before. Not every cigar ages well.
Right.
Don't believe the misconception that aged cigars are better. That's the Cuban influence on the American market, because Cubans, all aged, are always better. But there are some non-Cuban cigars that are just not good aged. I don't care what anybody tells you. That's the reality. But this is a $30 cigar for a reason. It has really good tobacco in it. It's got the best of the best that he can produce, and we were able to get it aged.
Right.
And it was just I don't know, man. I was blown away.
That was a huge moment. Like that. That's one of those ones we talked about it. I was really shocked.
Yeah.
And once they landed, and you were like, "Hey, they're here," I'm like, man, that's great. That's a very huge moment for us. And I think that's one of the very hard. That's a Michael Jordan kind of stat. Or a Wilt Chamberlain or a Kobe Bryant stat, like his 81-point game. That doesn't happen very often, man. You got to be very special to obtain some stuff like that. So, that cigar being placed in the club that's $30, not to say it's impossible for anybody else to do it, but that's going to be very, very few and far between. And then on top of that, if you probably do get that somewhere else, they're probably going to make it very obvious that they're covering it up with the other cigars,
right?
With them being subpar.
Whereas we then followed the $30.10 cigar up with the $14.99 unreleased, still not on the market, Lancero, in one of the best Connecticut's out there right now.
Right. And let's just be honest. You want hype, you want stories, you want this is it.
Yeah.
And that's where, and honestly, this is where it seems like the market is kind of going, right? Everybody's wanting the stories, everybody's wanting the hype, everybody's wanting to know what's the newest, the latest, the greatest, what has the most age to it. So it's like, here, half of your box, one cigar is 3 years old and the other is unreleased material. Like, what else do you want?
Not only that, unreleased, but Henderson and Adventura, he prides himself on not pushing cigars to market, and most of his stuff has years on it already between the filler tobacco or the wrapper, and so it was really fun. I guess I would describe it as knowing that we have two aged cigars. One has been on the market, produced in 2018, and one is technically an aged cigar, but it's still unreleased,
right?
Because of the techniques and the processes that those two different factories use. And so for me, as a cigar nerd, that was really cool when you sit down and you break that out. It's oh shit, this is old tobacco, and I can taste it in this, this Queen's Pearl Lancero that, we, like I told you, everybody in the letter, we were one of the first clubs to even get that cigar, and it took a good amount of work to get there to achieve that. And there was another club that I knew they'd have it, but it's still not on the market yet. Right. And it is a limited edition cigar, and I think it's probably one of the better Vitolas that he makes in the Queen's Pearl.
Yeah, that one and the Corona are probably my two favorites that he does in that cigar. And it's kind of crazy for me because everybody knows where I kind of started out palate wise, and now I'm kind of gearing back more towards off the strength and more towards flavor and body. So those are cigars. I was talking to a guy in a local lounge today, and he was smoking the Hoya, Connecticut that we featured before too. And he's like, man, I was really into a particular cigar. I won't say the name, but he was like, as I smoke this more and more, it's consistent and it's climbing up my chart of milder cigars I like to smoke. And as he was smoking it, when you smoke it and kind of pull it out of your mouth and kind of look at it, I'm like, damn, this is good. And I was telling him, I'm like, that's one of those cigars, even as a pepper lover and a strong cigar liker, like that cigar will always have a spot in my humidor. It's cigar.
Agree. I mean, like, so I am partial, we've always talked about it where I like the Connecticut's a little bit more than Ron and, challenges palate, but, the good thing is I think we only put good Connecticut's in there, and good Connecticut's for a variety of reasons. Like you talked about the Hoya, which is not a typical Connecticut in its performance aspect. And, Connecticut's don't need to be bitter. I think they're misconception, but, there's just Ecuadorian Connecticut right now is the crops in the last decade have been good quality tobacco. That's why you're seeing it used a little bit more frequently than normal. I think that's why the cigars are speaking, I would say, to the consumers and to us right now is whatever reason that region is producing high quality tobacco. Right.
It's just a great, and I mean, we were talking about that off camera, like, technically, like the one cigar that I'm not really thrilled about, I still think it's a good cigar. It's just not for me, really. And when I say that, it's not just me trying to cover up a cigar that I think is trash. I don't think the cigar is trash. It's just not a cigar for the money that I'm going to go grab a whole lot. Now, me saying that I have 2 or 3 of them, and James knows, if there's one cigar I've tried to smoke over and over again, trying to kind of force myself to like this cigar, it's the Hoya de Nicaragua Numero Uno. That's the one cigar. Speaking like how Lee Mack is with the Mil Diaz, it's like I'm trying to force myself to like this cigar. So, but I think Hoya de Nicaragua, for the most part, phenomenal factory, the oldest factory in Nicaragua. And it's kind of funny that not only are they the oldest factory in Nicaragua, but they put out a phenomenal product, which they're coming out with a new product this month. They should be releasing too. So,
yeah, they've done. I mean, you're smoking one of them right now. I mean, we can talk about that, but you're smoking the GT20 right now.
Yep. So I'll be out on the lookout for that. Got the foot band on the bottom of it. Actually, a really good blend.
Yeah, and it for those that can't see, it's actually box pressed this time around, and I'm just a sucker for box pressed. I think it does something to the flavor. I mean, I know it does something to the flavor and the way it smokes and the combustion and all that. But I'm always busy. My hands are moving. So I like that it's not going to roll away from me either when I put it down. It's kind of simple.
You know what this is for me too, as I sit here and smoke it and I'm thinking about it, like, this is a great cigar for me on live streams, cutting the grass, out and about, running errands, because it's a good cigar flavor-wise, but it's not so complex where I need to really sit down and pay attention to it a whole lot. But I know that I'm smoking a good cigar, and it's just it's not an off-putting bitter taste. It's just really good tobacco for me. So, it's always funny. Like, I was trying to kind of get the community out of the yard guard having to be the quorum or the factory smoke or whatever. It's like, man, smoke a better cigar if you're cutting the grass. You shouldn't use that as an excuse to smoke a shitty cigar. So for me, like, even at $8 or $9, like, this is something that I could smoke in, out in the yard or messing around or whatever like that. So they're very consistent. But
very much. All right.
Did you want to cover the Risty, the Red Knight?
Yeah. We'll go to Risty. So the Red Knight has been on my short list since the beginning. Wow. Yeah. So for those that don't know, like, Jocelyn Crawl launched his brand with the Red Knight. It was the first, it started it all. It's the first formal release, as they say. What I like about it is it's still, there's part of it that's undisclosed, so we'll never know. So, it leaves a lot to the imagination, but I just think it's a complex Cuban, right? Because that's the whole reason Risty started his brand, was he got tired of smoking fake Cubans, but he wanted Cuban-esque that actually offered more to the American market. And the Red Knight, to me, is that, and specifically the Robusto. It's short. It just transitions really, really well. And what's it, 5? Yeah, it's 5x50.
Yep.
I just think there's a lot in that cigar. Like, it's just a lot in the little package, man. And I think it's just one of the better representations of Risty. No offense against, like the Twisted, and the Barber, the Twisted we did, and then we did the Tyrannical Buck.
Yep.
They're all very good cigars for the month, and they worked well with the the pairings we had. But the Red Knight, it's his first release, and it still just might be his best.
Yeah, and that's the one that I know when we were talking about the tyrannical bug, like you mentioned that from even day one. You were like, you got to get a chance to smoke the Red Knight, which I think it was either in the Lancero or the Lonsdale size at that point too. And I remember smoking and Risky, on top of being a super solid guy, makes a great product, which is really good to see the smaller companies putting out not only a good product, but just very, very consistent. Because I think that's the problem that a lot of these smaller companies will have. And you have to really, I want all the smokers to really pay attention to that. It's very easy to make one good run of cigars. But how good, well, this brand is new or whatever, and they put out this great cigar and it's cool. All right, that's fine. But how is it in 6 months? How is it in a year? What about the other lines that they're doing? Is it consistent? Consistency is something that I like to preach all the time, because if you aren't consistent, you aren't going to last. So,
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, you're just not wrong. And Risty's been at it for a while now. And, for those that I actually don't remember if I put it in, but I may have, it's a double binder of Mexican San Andreas in that, and then it's undisclosed filler. Most of it's Nicaraguan, most of it's Nicaraguan. I think it's the Jalapa region, but it's, the double Mexican San Andreas binder matter. Oh, he's walking away from me again. I get nerdy, but, that's kind of one of the distinct differences there. And it's just, like I said, it's a good representation of what Risty can do. It's just a good that's all it is. I mean, it's just a complex, it transitions well, good flavor balance. I don't think there's anything that really stands out or drives the ship, but it's just always there. So,
and we always talk about too, supporting, the community always talks about wanting to support really good people. And I think Risty is one of those few owners that are very trustworthy, very honest, and very transparent. He's one of those guys that doesn't hold his tongue back, and sometimes that could be a bad thing. I probably can be related to some ways in that too, but it kind of is what it is. I much rather have a person that's like that than somebody that's kind of speaking and talking and you really don't know if that's really the truth, or if that what they telling you something, but if it ain't 100% accurate, or if it's not, they're giving you a politically correct answer. Because sometimes it's like, I get it, you're trying to be PC, but we're off camera or we're on a Zoom or something. I'm asking this question because I need to know. I want to know the real answer to it. And Risty's one of those guys that if you have a question, he's gonna just answer it. So he's one of those guys that no matter what cigar he has coming out, I always will buy it. And truth be told, the FDA cigar was actually really, really good. I thought it was a very good cigar, very underrated.
You're not wrong. That fuck the FDA is a damn good cigar, and whether you like the hype around it or the stories or not, what he's trying to do it for, it's up to you. But it's a damn good cigar.
At the end of the day, if I smoke the cigar, the stories and stuff. Like I said, hey, I get it right now. It's what's hot. It's what people want. Is the stories and stuff. But like, if that's cool, I don't mind that if the cigar is good. So the story behind the FDA and the battling with everything, Rocky Patel and stuff's cool. But then if I were to take that band off the cigar and smoke the cigar is still good. So it makes the experience that much better for me. So it's like this cigar here, it has this gorgeous band and it looks good, but I smoke it and it's a dog rocket. It's like, okay, the band looks good, but smokes like shit. So probably a cigar I'll never smoke again.
And I will say this about all of Risty's cigars, like there's a commitment to consistency and construction. Those two things are prevalent in everything he does, whether it's house blends, custom blends, or just regular production stuff. Those are the two facets and tenets that really gravitate me towards his stuff and why he does what he does. I've never had a bad burn on any cigar. The construction is always great. It never comes apart on me. It doesn't break, whether it's been dry boxed or not. Most of his stuff is overrolled or tight, because that's intentional.
Right.
But people understand, like, to be able to get that to the point and still have it smokable takes a lot more than people realize.
I was just going to say, the only complaints I've ever heard from people usually is that the draw is tight, but then when you explain to them that's done on purpose because of his background with his love for Cuban cigars and as much as he smokes them, then people are like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, just go and take your perfect draw, whatever, poke it real quick to get it to where you like it, but that's done on intention. So,
so the
go
Rook,
ahead, James.
I would say so the Rook, I'll be honest, Blackbird was kind of a flyer for us. We were looking for kind of something different. We settled on it at TPE, so kind of not last minute, 2 months prior. I will just say it, completely blown away by the surprise, by the positive and extraordinary, the love for the Rook. Like, it's a good cigar, but multiple people said it was the star of that box, which caught me off guard because, $30.
I've heard between the Rook and the Aventura.
Yeah. And I thought for sure it was gonna be the Aventura, the Illusione, but the Rook, it just, like I said, I was completely caught off guard, and I think that speaks to Jonas and the team at Blackbird, what they're building over there and what they're doing, and the quality of tobacco. And more so, I think it's because it's Dominican Republic tobacco too, which is still an underlier out there because Nicaragua is king, as they say right now.
So what I like about what Blackbird does too, right? You, as a company, I think especially when you're starting out, you have to be very careful in dissecting blends and what you want to put out to the masses, because you have to be careful and want to make sure your blends are successful to be able to last. But what I like about Blackbird's core line is not only are the products good, but they give you a chance to pretty much smoke a lot of different wrapper leaves in their cores, which a lot of companies don't do it. So Pichardo is another company that comes to mind when I think about it, where they give you a chance to smoke Connecticut, Sumatra, Brazilian, Maduro, Corojo. They just have 4 or 5 different core line Habanos. So you can get a chance to grab their core line and get to see what wrapper leaves really resonate, really go well with your palate. And I like that they do that. And the product is very consistent too. So,
well, and it was, I think this box was probably one of our most mild to medium boxes we've had in a while.
Yeah, it wasn't really anything strong in there.
Yeah, and so like it was kind of nice to balance that all together, especially with that Sumatra wrapper on the Rook. But what I appreciated about it is, it's creamy. It was very creamy, which, not that it caught me off guard because I knew that going in, but to see all the other people pick up on that note as well, they thought it was creamy too. So look at Mystical's like behind the 8 ball. So
I saw a comment he made earlier too. I would definitely recommend it. I know you posted that the other day too. If you are a Crown Heads fan, I would definitely highly recommend smoking the new Los Calaveras. I think it's a very good cigar. Which I liked the one last year, but I think it needed some time and it got better as it set and aged a little bit. But this one is much better out the gate than the Purple Band was for me.
So it's funny you say that. So Messi or Diamond, we both smoked it together for the first time in the lounge was that Friday or Saturday? Sorry, I'm just catching up on stuff. And we were both surprised because I went in there, you had smoked it before me. So I went in there knowing, like, having higher expectations, and you nailed it. Your description of what to expect, the experience was right on the money. And both Diamond and I had great ash, great construction, great flavors, and we nubbed it at the end. So
I'm really like, I talked to him today. So, and another thing, I know a lot of y'all might be following them on Instagram too. They released that Ferrari hat this morning. So just FYI, don't say I didn't tell you, because it's probably not going to be there long. But
ready.
Yeah. No, I was telling him this morning, I'm just very happy and very proud of him because, I started smoking Crown Heads in 2015, pretty much when I started, and they were very good in the beginning. Then just to be honest, there was a 2 or 3 year period where stuff was just kind of on the fence. Like, they were okay, but a lot of companies were starting to spread the gap between them. And I think I told him, I said, I think them finding Pichardo was probably the best thing that ever happened for them. And they've been putting out, the War is released, man, and it's almost like a snowball has been going down the hill, and it's just, their momentum's been crazy since the War is released.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Justin, I got your email, buddy. Just waiting on you. So you're good on that end. But so Mystical, I was actually referring, he talked about the new Blackbird limited edition that dropped, and we, ours showed up today. It's on the site and been smoking them out of the gate. Really damn good. Lee Mack got his hand smacked a little bit because he wasn't supposed to do it ahead of time, but he did one.
He liked it too.
He liked it too. And so, it's, so how they did it, there was only 500 boxes made for Blackbird. And we're just talking about Blackbird because it's that, we were talking about the Rook. only 500 boxes, 14 made, so real small run in the grand scheme of things. And then there's only, I think, 36 stores are getting the first batch, and then the other half is going to all the other stores. And we were fortunate enough to be on the first batch of it. So really, really excited. It's been smoking great. I'm on my second one of today, I'll be honest, because I just wanted to, probably shouldn't have done 2 in one day off the truck, but I wanted to see, is this something, because most of you, if you were paying attention on the Zoom, and I'll say it publicly here, we're working on a custom blend with Blackbird that Ron is leading the way on. So really have some, just high hopes and expectations, and he's killing it. This is a very good limited edition. So
this is gonna be some big stuff going on. So to be completely transparent with all you guys, some of you, I haven't smoked it yet, but like I said, I trust James. Lee Mac smoked it and liked it too. And I've smoked enough Blackbird cigars I like, so I'm excited about this. So y'all know how I am. Y'all better move quicker than me, because y'all know how I am with buying stuff. So I am going in on a box sight unseen. That's just how I am. But
speaking of buying boxes, I will be honest. So there's a couple of people in the chat that have asked, and I've seen it. I do not have any Aganorsa Supreme Leaf torpedoes for sale. In the past, we have had the releases. We do not have any. So just throwing that out there. I saw somebody was smoking, and I've seen a couple people ask about it. Messy keeps hitting me with the Birdman hand rub, man. He's seen me do it in person too many times.
Oh man. I said Pariah. That's actually another company I like. Me, like I say, in time, your palate and stuff changes too. Crux is another brand. I like the Bull and Bear a lot. I remember the Epicure. It was just okay for me. I need to go back and re-smoke through the line again to make sure that my final assessments are pretty consistent to what I thought last time. What I thought about Crux was the Bull and Bear was very good. The Epicure was okay. The rest of the line was okay. And then the Limitada, the Black Band, is the one that I did not like. Now, I know that they just came out with different sizes on some of these blends too. So
yep.
I'm gonna have. That's why I said I'm gonna need to re-smoke some of this stuff. But the Bull and the Bear for me, for my palate, was what I liked the most. And so I'll see. I have to go re-smoke through this stuff.
Hey, yeah. So Troy's finally back from his break.
Yeah, you had a sabbatical.
I know. No, his grandkids. He
said a sabbatical.
Yeah, but we gotta be careful because we can't let them see the color boxes we're messing with. We're live right now, so I was like over here packing underneath, throwing them over. So I'm gonna spin this way.
Good.
Well, they got a vacuum and wires in the wall.
Fred, what's going on, man?
Yeah, we're good now. How was this first day?
Good. It was good. He's all excited. He's walking around with his book bag.
Smoked a lot of Crown Heads this year, maybe the most. Yeah, I think Crown Heads has done really well, man. They had like I said, they started with the Juarez, which was a very good cigar. Then it rolled over to the Mil Diaz, which most people really like too. Then, I think that their relationship with Pichardo kind of rubbed off on my father and EP Carrillo, which he's already had a great relationship with EP as well too. But then you had the Kappa Especial 4 Kicks, which had a lot of good acclaim, a lot of good reviews behind that as well too. Then I smoked the Series E, which I thought was a very good cigar. They got the Sergeant, a couple other cigars. There's one cigar, I can't remember the name of it too. He sent me that one too that I need to smoke. I actually haven't smoked any of those yet. He sent me a couple of them to try out, so I probably need to do that in the next couple of days to see if that's something that we might be interested in too. But Crown Heads is definitely doing some good stuff.
They really are. We ain't got another option, do we? Was anybody in the front room?
Yeah.
No, in the front. No.
Jay.
Was he at the desk?
Yeah.
But this GT20 is so far pretty solid, man. I'm enjoying this.
All right.
Actually, might be one of the better cigars I've had in the last couple of days.
Ron, you're gonna have to give me a little bit to find a new location.
Yeah, just take your
I'm gonna mute and pause and stop video because if you were smart, you could have seen one of the cigars there in a minute or a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, Kerry. I agree. Pichardo put them on the front line, and I think that Pichardo is going to be one of those companies in the next year or so that's really, really going to take off. Luciano's a very good blender. He's also kind of reminds me a lot of Risty. He's very transparent transparent, very honest guy, very straightforward.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're putting out some good stuff, man.
So
That,
Troy
Pete
wants to
Chardo
tell
Green. Troy wants to tell everybody.
Yeah, he wants to tell everybody. I've smacked him already. It's not
Troy,
abusive.
go back to the sabbatical, man.
Yeah, Ron says it's gonna be a permanent sabbatical.
That's unemployed.
Trust me, I want this one to be a surprise.
We agree on that one. I think the HBC Broadleaf is a very good cigar. Hawk, what's going on, brother? Lee said they didn't tell me not to smoke it.
What?
He's talking about the Blackbird cigar.
Oh.
He was like, they didn't tell me not to smoke. I said, yeah, you know, Lee gonna grab that thing quick.
Yeah, I mean, in his defense, I was there and they didn't tell him that. They didn't. I mean, I think Lee was one of the few that actually got that cigar.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think he handed that cigar out to too many people. So yeah, that was yeah. P-Roll, Milwaukee P, what's going on? But I'm an HBC fan. But I would say I'm low key. I'm low key a fan. Like I said, HBC is in the same category as Aganorsa for me. I like most of their stuff, not all of it, but I would say I'm a fan. Like, and when I say a fanboy, I would say for me, whenever they release something, I'm gonna buy it and try it. So
Agreed.
So I would say if we're gonna base that on being a fanboy in that term, then yes, I am an HBC or Aganorsa fanboy. But I'm not a fanboy and thinking that everything they do is good.
And he's got big changes coming because he's got his own factory.
Dude, I can't wait to see what's out. Oh, he did two things: the HBC 500 that he was telling me about, and the Black Friday.
Yep.
And y'all know how I am on that Black Friday. I'm gonna tell y'all probably need to start saving and invest in that sight unseen. Because some of this stuff, man, I'm gonna tell you like this: you got to be ready because. And buy if it comes in a box of. I'm gonna tell you how it works. If it comes in boxes if it comes in a 10-count box, most of the time it's gonna be $100 to $120 investment. I'm good with that. I'd much rather gamble on $100 and it being a great cigar, and I got it for sure, rather than let me buy one or two of them. Then it's like, damn, this is really good. You go back, you can't get it anymore. So Black Fridays come out in November usually, so. Go ahead and get ready for this stuff, man. He's got a HBC 500, another version of that that's going to be coming out. So you guys heard it, man. Just be ready for this stuff when it drops.
I mean, like you know it's coming once a year. I guess that's like
yes, not much. You know, and this is a yearly thing. Like Rod said, the Black Friday is a box of 50. And you know, I would say at least grab you 10. At least get 10.
You're not wrong. So we covered the box, right? We talked about
we had 4 this month. Yep.
So Ron and I mean, listen, Ron and I were just very proud of that box for a lot of reasons because we provided such a high quality value or, an ROI, right? Return on your investment, because that's what, we don't say it enough and we don't probably speak publicly about that, but we understand it's an investment in us and Black Lion, and you're part of our community. You're like trying to help us grow and be honest, because I'll tell you, having done TPE, PCA, look at little Quincy back there.
Quincy, what are you doing, man?
These companies really, really like the fact that we're focusing on core line stuff. And then that's how we're getting the Aventura, Queen Pearl, Lancero limited edition, is because we support their everyday products and we champion their core line stuff. And, they don't have to worry about doing special projects for us first. We build the relationship with them. They get to know us and we get to know them. And then we can do these special projects, not all the time, but just when we feel it's appropriate. And so it's been really fun Troy's on sabbatical again. The smoke break already?
He's just trying to show that box. I know what he's doing.
Oh, he's trying to bring out that.
Tell him to stay his ass out the way, man.
He's trying. I'm fighting him every step of the way. He came out holding 5 of them. He was going to give them away for free. Nah, but so it's just really cool to see your guys' trust and investment in us. And that month was a really big month from us, from the July and then August, the return on investment that you guys are getting for $37.95 shipped or $38.43 if you're in Pennsylvania and you have to include the tax. I just want to say thank you all. It's been just such a incredible freaking 13 months that led to us having to the point where we actually had to close the membership. And I will be pretty honest, we didn't close it because we hit the original number that Ron and I had set. We hit the number, and then now we were getting very uncomfortable because production right now has become a problem for a lot of companies. And that's why, like I said, they value our core line focus, because the special projects are costing them time and resources on their core line, and they can't even keep their regular stuff on the shelf. And so Ron and I were just getting very uncomfortable because we were getting the inventory list from multiple companies, and the numbers weren't there if we kept growing to actually keep the quality and keep the consistency that we wanted. And Ron's
not unless y'all want a box of Casino Golds and King Oscars and all that shit like that. Yeah. So quality over quantity is the main goal, because I would much rather have 1,000 happy people than 3,000 unhappy people. So
yep. And so it's funny. Axel was trying to tell me, Axel does this thing. He always says it in Spanish, and he says, it translates. It means it loses in translation, but roughly it's the more you try to hold, the less you can grasp. And that to me was kind of like a very fitting motto for what we're trying to accomplish and why we made the decision, because we could obviously hold more people, but we could grasp less of you, and our quality and our consistency would not be what we want. And I just don't want to be that guy in charge of a club, and I don't want to have to ask Ron to compromise his integrity and his values and his vision for our club. And so it was, trust me, we have a very large group of people, but it was a very easy decision when we started talking about it. You're smiling. What did I miss?
So everybody's talking about the boxes, and Adam said October's box would have been 5 Black and Milds. Yeah.
You know what it wouldn't have been? It wouldn't have been Swisher Sweet Minis, because I can't order that right now. I can't even get those.
And I saw Pariah made a comment too. He said, "Let him know whenever you get any more Orelanos or Cuban 109s in." Now the Cuban 109s from last year, I don't know about those. Now I know that the Casa Fernandez is coming in 2 different sizes this year.
Yep. So we'll have both of those.
Toro.
Yep. So we'll have both, because we were at PCA, which Ron has been scolded and yelled at that he's not allowed to miss another trade show.
Yeah.
And by that I mean put it on the calendar, please.
We got one in January. The PCA dates already posted too.
Yeah, PCA dates are out there. It's on the website.
All right.
It was not fun trying to do all that distance.
Yeah.
But so we are private, folks. So if you have friends that are interested, at this point, they're going to have to be on a wait list. Things happen. I understand people will come and go, but there is a wait list now, so I cannot just accept anybody. So if you have friends and you've been telling them, let them know it's on the wait list. And so now it might be 6 to 9 to a year before we can accommodate that many people joining the club. So it's a scary thought, man, but it is. It's hard to believe that in 13 months we got to a point where we had to do this. But like I said, we wanted to make sure we could maintain who we were.
Yeah. Like I said, the maintaining that, and for me too, like you said, it goes so much. Like I said, I was mentioning that on the stream with Lee a couple of weeks ago too. Like, if we're gonna be honest too, everybody loves money. Like, who doesn't want more money? But at the same time, your name and your reputation shouldn't be compromised for that too. So
yeah,
I think that's very important, and I hope that everybody that's in the club realizes and sees that we're going to continue to put high quality products in there. And on top of that too, we're being creative. We're striving to be creative and trying to still find ways to separate us from just being in the middle of the pack with everybody else. So
what do you think next month's going to do? Do you think that's going to separate us just a little bit?
I think so. I definitely think so. And then of course, a particular cigar that we wanted to use that we weren't able to get, if that still gets into work at some point too, I think that's going to be something that even just puts a little bit more space between us too.
Was that the one we were supposed to have this month?
Yep, that was supposed to be paired. Now, if we would have had those 3, yep.
I'll be straight up. I will tell people this might be our lowest cost box. Like you're going to see your value. It doesn't hit the $50 mark. I'll be telling you now. I'll tell you now. When you get that, I hope you understand why.
Right.
Because of what we had to do and just how something, and it would have hit
that mark too. You'll be able to experience things that a lot of people are not going to be able to.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, I got to be careful what I say because I don't want the guy of that company to smack me next time he sees me. We're in rarefied air for this release for this cigar. I mean, I've only seen one other club use it before.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen anybody have enough quantity to even touch it again.
Yep.
So I don't know, and it took a lot of late nights with Ron and I, especially TPE. We did a lot of work in TPE to make this a reality, and I'm excited for this box, man.
I am too. Like I said, I like for me too. Like I always like seeing the pictures. Like I love how all you guys tag us all in the Instagram stories with music and stuff playing. Like this stuff's cool. So keep doing that. Like I said, for me, it's a definite win to see all you guys satisfied with the boxes that are being placed in. And like I've said too before, I always shoot for 80%. 80% for me is a very good box. If there's 5 cigars and you don't like one, or if there's 4, you don't really care for one, that don't never hurt my feelings. Like I always said, if we consistently are putting 3 out of 4 cigars in there that you end up liking, especially if they're new companies that you've never smoked, cigars that are kind of out of your price point, and these are all things that you like to smoke, that's a win for me, man. If you don't like 1 out of the 4 or 1 out of the 5, so be it, man. Like that's cool. I can live with that all day long.
Exactly. I mean, so the reality is we've had these 2 boxes are, you talked on access is kind of what comes to my head, right? The Adventura, that access was remarkable for us because of our people, and the Henderson and Adventura sees them tagging and being active, and more importantly, liking that cigar. And I even used the club because he got some negative reviews recently, or not negative, but not so stellar reviews on some of his cigars. And he let me know how he'd feel about it. And I was like, I haven't received one negative review about any of the 2 Adventura cigars we've used. And, that's nearly 1,500 cigars. I was like, that's all you need to know, man. Like, is the people smoking, the brothers, the sisters of the leaf, or the people of the leaf, they're who matters, not some person that gives you a numerical score. And so that's why that stuff matters. And I say it openly because they're human just like us, right? The master blenders and the rollers, and then they see you guys with so much excitement, so much energy. That human element makes them feel good. And I sent him, that's why I always tag these people, so they can see you guys having so much fun.
Parad, come on, Parad, don't disrespect us like that, man.
Really?
Man, you know damn well ain't nothing from that company going in. Nothing. And they make 2 or 3 cigars that are okay, like, but that some stuff is okay. Some stuff's just not meant for club boxes. In my opinion, that's not taken away from if it's a good cigar or not, but certain cigar. All right, let's take for example, what's something I've seen recently?
Hold on, before you get down there. I thought he was talking about the Running Man. I was like, what cigar uses the Running Man? And then I see the comment below.
Oh, no. Yeah. Shit. I'm trying to think of something that, or what have I seen used that have you seen anything used where it's like, it ain't a bad cigar, but it's not something I would just necessarily put in the club?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
There's
Let's. Even though I don't think it's a very good cigar, but let's say this is something you might see: a Drew Estate Undercrown. It's not a bad cigar, but unless it's a Shady XX or a Dogma or something like that, probably not a cigar that really needs to be in the club box. You know what I mean? Like,
agreed.
Some stuff that people accept, I'm like, man, you can find this stuff in the gas station, man. Like, y'all are accepting this in the club. You do know you're paying for this, right?
It is what it is, man. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and bash any other club or how they do.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying anything in particular. I'm just thinking about like cigars where I'm thinking like they're good cigars, but I'm just like, I don't know if AJ Fernandez New World, perfect cigar. Actually, really not a bad cigar, especially for the money. Decent cigar. Would I put that in the club box? Probably not. Probably not.
I appreciate all the positive. I think we're trying, guys. Like, I mean, I said it a couple streams ago, change is hard. And I think Ron and I and our focus and what we're trying to drive and change is, I don't want to change the culture because I like the cigar smoking culture. But what I want to change is the reality of, like, there are so many cigars, these humidors that you walk by every day that have been out for years that you ignore because of name brand, or you walk by because of price. And Ron and I are attempting, and I think successfully doing this, putting these cigars in your hands with no preconceived notion of why. And you're just enjoying them. You're letting your palate speak. You're letting the tobacco talk to you. And that is tough.
Right. And so I know, if we're going to look at it and we're being transparent more about the club, right? So there's an overhead that has to there's an umbrella that has to kind of be stay under. I can't put in $80 value box at a $30 club. It just doesn't make sense, right? That's not how it works. So if we are, and a lot of clubs will do this because they have to try to stay under the overhead costs. So if they give you one or two really good cigars, you're going to take the hit on whatever else. Like, you might get something regular in there, like an AJ Fernandez New World or something. And that's just literally, it's not saying it's a bad cigar, but they have to try to keep that cost down. The difference with us is, if we are going to have to try to keep costs down, we are still very strategic in what we place in. If it is a affordable or cheaper cigar, we try to strategically put in a cigar that not a lot of people know about, or not a lot of people are paying attention to. Maybe it's something new. Maybe it's something that's been out for 10 years. But like I said before, if you just started smoking a year or two ago, it's still new to you. So it's not, and it's not something that you can find at any Walgreens or a grocery store or something. We're trying. This is the point of the club, like we said before. With all due respect, it's not a beginner cigar club. This is a club to challenge your palate and get you to smoking brands you don't know about and smoking some good stuff. So everything is done for a reason. Everything is strategically done. So that's something to think about for you guys too. If you do see things, it's always a reason why we're doing it. So
yeah, I went down the Reddit rabbit hole the other day. It was not a good move.
That's
and
Reddit. You know how that is.
I know
over there.
And so, like, but it's humbling, man. Like, like, listen, there were 3 or 4 companies listed, and we were one of them for our Cigar of the Month Club. It's like, all right, cool, humbling. And then I read the feed, like what they said, and I was like, well, that's a lie. All right, I won't touch it. I'm not going to respond. I was smart. I didn't respond. I didn't.
Good. I'm glad, because I say that, but you know me. That's why I don't get on there, because I'd be on there for hours just responding back and forth with somebody that's completely irrelevant. Because the thing is, it's 1 or 2 people's opinions.
And so it was funny because they in there said that we use a lot of filler cigars, and I was like, I sat down, I looked through every single month, and I was like, all right, I think there may have been 1 cigar in there that I would classify as a filler, and that's only, I would classify it 6 months after its release, because when it was released, we were one of 10 stores that had it.
Right.
And I'll be, it was the Toothpick 2.0 barber pole. So like we were one of Risty's first stores to have it. We gave it to you guys to try, because that toothpick is a everyday value cigar, much like we did with the Illusione Rothschild's everyday value cigar.
You know how many people still haven't smoked that cigar though? Or how many people don't even have access to that cigar? It's not like a Fuente 858 or a Short Story or AJ Fernandez New World, or like Kylan said, Charter Oak Foundation Charter. It's not like cigars that are very common. Yeah. You can't. I even here in locally in Memphis where I'm at, I can't go into a B&M and find a Jocelyn Crawl barber pole. It's just not here.
Well, and so it was funny because I just I'm stuttering a lot. My apologies. Like it speaks to the honesty factor that I'm trying to bring to this club, and that you and I push, is remove the preconceived notions that you have of every cigar. Granted, there's some that we just won't mess with, but that preconceived notion exists because we've smoked them religiously. Like, are we wrong? Are we wrong? Nope, we're not. We're still not wrong. Let's move on. And so like, it's nice to be able to have those things, but it's like, man, that's not a filler cigar. That's like, That's a very good, very good.
But you know what
cigar.
though? This is where I would say as a member, if you are on Reddit and you see stuff like that, this is where the time you talk your shit. This is where you say, all right, filler cigars, right? Aladino Corojo Reserva, filler cigar. Plasencia Alma Fuerte Salomon, filler cigar. Plasencia Alma Fuerte Sixto, filler cigar. Plasencia Alma Campo Trevicia, first club to have it, filler cigar. Illusione Plus 53, filler cigar. Aventura Queen's Pearl Lancero, filler cigar. Tatuaje Black Label Petit Lancero, filler cigar.
Yep.
One of the first clubs to have the Aladino Cameroon filler cigar. Padron 90th anniversary filler cigar. You're right. Those are filler cigars, so I guess I'm a filler cigar smoker. And we ain't even got deep. We ain't even got deep into it. We ain't talked about the Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust Brulees, St. Compromisos, the lounge exclusive Drew Estate cigar we featured, the custom that we featured. Filler cigar. That's when you just go down the list. Like now, if me listing all this says that that's a filler cigar, then I guess I'm a filler cigar smoker. You point me in the direction of a club that I need to put my hard-earned money at. That's a better value at $30 than this one. I'll be more than happy to join it.
But you know, so Maverick nailed it. I do think we're gonna get a little bit more hate now that we're private, but I don't think people are going to, because they're not going to watch an hour or however long we've been live into this video and understand we are private, not because we hit a number. We're private because we want to maintain the consistency and the quality.
So we don't put filler cigars in the club.
And it's like, and I think that stuff's funny. So it's like, you know, listen, I'll get hate every day, and you know, it's part of the job, you know. But I'm ready. Ron and I are ready because we stand behind this club, and more importantly, we have all of you in the chat. I see you all on Facebook. Like there was somebody asked today in Cigar Aficionados best club, and we were like a top 10 response. You know, somebody said Black Lion best bang for your buck, and it made me happy because for once I didn't have to like, hey, like, yo guys, chime in, let us know, let them know. But that person was there ready, and it was just cool, man. It's just, I mean, I don't have a tattoo. Nobody's got a tattoo of Black Lion yet, but don't do that because
please don't.
That's weird. That's weird, and I might just change the logo out of spite then.
Yeah, if you don't see James with a tattoo, don't get a tattoo, please.
Well, I got a couple tattoos, just to never see them.
Not a Black Lion tattoo.
Well, maybe it's in the works.
Oh Lord.
Unlike Ron, I like to keep my tattoos under my clothes. So when I get fat, they don't stretch out and you can't realize what it is, which is what happened on one of them.
Oh my God. That's what good cover-up artists are for.
Oh, that's just more money that I don't want to spend.
But no, I think that's funny, man. It's just like filler cigars when I'm sitting here. We all positive over here, man. We just gonna stay positive, man.
One of these days I'll not be positive, but until then,
yeah, we'll keep the stream positive. That's funny to me though, and it's just like, all right, especially and you know, I'll say this though too. It'd be funny to really respond back and get in an engagement with that person or people, and say, all right, well, what club are you a part of? And no shots being taken. We'll take the last year that you've been in what said club, and we'll go month by month and see who had the better smoking experience or who got better value.
Yep.
Just a friendly challenge. Since we're smoking so much filler cigar, we'll have a friendly challenge.
There's a lot of ass going on in the chat, so I keep having to approve all those comments. That Illusione kicked a lot of people's asses, and I'm just, or the Rothschild, not the
the Rothschild, yeah.
No, I mean, listen, we Ron and I we try to balance, you know, strength profiles as best we can. Some days we do really good. You know, the one box where we had the Corojo Reserva, the Onyx Bold, and the Alma Fuerte, it was a fucking full box right there.
Yep.
And so we knew we were due to have one that was more mild medium, because we need to balance it out for all the smokers in there. Because some people it does matter, you know, because we don't do what's your strength profile, you know, survey before you join our club. It's just, you know, trust us to help you find a really good cigar, find good cigars at an even better price point. But it's also kind of summertime here, you know. I don't know where you're at, Ron, but it's a little hot, and I don't enjoy sweating from my cigar.
I tell you, I'm spoiled, man. That's why I smoke indoors 90% of the time. I'll smoke outside when it's fall or winter when it feels better outside. I ain't smoking outside in 100-degree weather unless I'm on the beach. I ain't doing it.
Yeah, like I'm fat. I'm not trying to sweat from my fat and then sweat from a cigar, man. That's just not my definition of enjoyment on a nine. Yeah, so that's why we didn't wait for like a winter box to do it. We did it in the peak of summer.
And another thing too about that Louisiana Rothschild, like I tell you guys, strategically we place things in there because that's a cigar that if you look at it and you look at the band and you look at the price point, most people are gonna walk past it. Now, strength is a byproduct of that cigar. Most people is very strong to, but guess what? You know how many people that reached out to James and said that became a cigar for daily rotation for them? And it's a very affordable cigar at $5. And guess what? You smoke halfway through it or something, you got to go run an errand or do something, you got to pitch it to the ground. You're not really feeling too bad about throwing out a $5 cigar that you got halfway through, as opposed to paying $15 for a cigar and you got to do the same thing. Then you start thinking, damn, well, I only smoked half of this cigar. I'm wasting it now. So that's a cigar that I smoke a lot of. Like I said, that comes in cabinets of 50. Find them for good deals. It's like that turns into a daily smoking or a yard cigar, or a cigar that if you want a little bit of power, you're drinking a nice bourbon, a little bit of scotch, that's a cigar that'll go really good for you. I don't know about everybody else, but even smoking indoors, my attention span per cigar is about an hour and a half. After about an hour and a half, I get kind of bored and I don't want to. I'm done. Like I'm mentally and physically, I'm done. I just want to be over with. I don't have any interest in smoking one cigar for 2.5, 3 hours. It's just not me. I'd much rather smoke one cigar, be done for a little bit, 10 or 15 minutes, and light up another one and get a whole different experience. So,
yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, Cowboys in the building. Good to see you, brother.
What's going on, man? But I'm glad to hear so much positive feedback from the Rothschild brothers. That's another cigar. The Rex is another good cigar. It's a smaller ring gauge, $6. Like it's a great cigar at that price point too. And y'all know a Louisiana quality. Like y'all know what y'all get.
I love the Rex, man.
Great cigar.
Spoiler
I think
alert.
I just smoked my last one a couple of days ago.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Don't be surprised if that's in the box at some point soon. Like it's a hell of a cigar. And it's when you get the gold bundle of 25, it's such a beautiful packaging. Like it's just
they ain't skimping. They not skimping on quality of tobacco or presentation. It's just a very good cigar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're able to get that. You're able to get that because it ain't no ban. You know, you're able. They're saving you some stuff because taking some shortcuts and some in the right areas, not skimping in tobacco. So
that 9-inch Aladino mic. Yeah, so he's talking about the Aladino Corojo patent. It comes in a coffin. It's actually a very good cigar too for 9 inches.
Tell you what, I smoked the Asylum Pandemonium a couple years ago, and it wasn't a very complex cigar, but it tasted good. But after about an hour, I was just sitting there like,
done?
I'm done, man. So I threw away a 6-inch cigar or something like that. It was just like, I'm done. I'm ready to smoke something else. Like,
All right, so feedback time. You guys have been talking. I asked it in the Facebook group. You know, if you're not in the Facebook group, it's Black Lions Pride Rock. You know, Ron and I are fathers. So, you know, I was like, why not go Disney? But then also because Lions Den has like a copyright and there's actually another store. So I went different. What was everybody's favorite cigar from the box? Was it the Illusione one-off plus 53, the Adventero Queen's Pearl Lancero, the Rook from Blackbird Grand Toro, or the Jocelyn Crawl Red Knight Robusto? Just kind of a quick, get some feedback. What was everybody's favorite one?
All right, I think I kind of got an idea. I got a clue what's gonna happen because I saw a lot of one earlier when we were talking.
Agreed. I'm right there with you. Yeah.
And 1502 does make some very good cigars. Omar, what's going on, man? Cigar Snob in the building.
Hey, what's up, Cigar Snob?
Looks like we got one Illusione, one Adventura, one Illusione, or Blackbird, Rook. Looks like Rook kind of taking over right now. It started out. Yeah, it looks like the Rook. Now the Louisiana is picking up a little bit. But to me, you know what that also shows too? That shows really good balance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing I'm proud of too, where it's like sometimes things can be really lopsided, where everybody's like, da 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 da, oh, it's da 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 this. And but to see, I mean, literally, all right, we got one Jocelyn Crawl, JSK is what I'm assuming. But to see people already speaking on pretty much all over the box, that's a great thing. So that is exactly what we are trying to target. We're trying to get everybody. One off smoking hog. Oxy one off smoked August box fresh from the mailman. Every cigar was spot on. Rook is no joke. Only had the Queen Pearl. That was awesome. And so we got a few Aventuras in there, a few more Rooks. So yeah, I mean, it looked. I mean, I'm not physically counting, but it's looking like we got some people that's with Blackbird, some people with a Louisiana, some people with Aventura. I've seen a few JSKs. It's like it's all over.
I would say it's pretty damn split down the middle, man.
It's all over.
It doesn't. It's kind of cool to see that.
Yeah. I was gonna say that to me. That I'm more proud of that than to see something just straight up taking off on everything else. I like to see a little bit of balance. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trying to read these comments is keeping me busy.
It's another Aventura.
So I want to have a little fun, Ron. I want to see. All right, so Carson can't say anything. Messy Thrills can't say anything. Lee Mack can't say anything, but I think he's in his premiere right now.
Yeah.
If you were to guess what 4 cigars are in the September's box, what would everybody's guess be? I just want to see wrapper, binder, composition, see if anybody's close. If anybody can actually guess one of the cigars. We're not going to tell you any hints. Troy, shut up. Troy's back here. I'll tell you. I gotta be nice to Troy because his grandson, it was his first day of school, so he came before his grandson got home to help me pack a little bit, and he came back to help me finish up too. So he had his little sabbatical in the middle to go be with family and be with his grandson on his first day of school back.
Hey.
So I gotta be nice because Troy's my guy. And I'm going to hire Troy. He knows it too. Whenever he retires, Troy's going to be my first hire, my full-time hire.
That's good.
Right, Troy? Yes, sir. 4 Cuban 109s. Nah, man, I'm saving all the 109s for myself.
That'd be hard. That'd be really, really hard to get.
Man, I want to hear some guesses. Like, I'll give one.
All Rocky Patel and Gurkhas.
There's a under $10 Lancero.
That's a good guess, Justin.
That's a good guess.
Very good guess.
It's not right, but it's a good guess.
That's a good guess, though. That's something that wouldn't be far-fetched to be in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Introduce me to new brands, hoping for some more out of the ordinary. There is one that is out of the ordinary.
Yep.
And that's the unreleased one, because that's a brand that we haven't featured yet. And it's a very good boutique brand that's got a lot of steam.
We got another company too that we're gonna be using here soon too. That you got a real good relationship going with at PCA. If you think about it, you'll know. Like, you went all in on it. If you just think about companies that you really went all in and that you want us to start working with, you'll know what I'm talking about. I can't say it publicly because I think too many people watch too many other things and they'll pick up on it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, my brain's a little fried, so you'll just have to text me after the fact. But
hold on.
I don't know how the hell we turned you on to Crux because we ain't featured a Crux yet. You probably talking more shit again. Pete F, that was actually a good guess. You might see Regis Black in the future.
Good cigar, yeah.
Ron, fuck yeah. That
Yeah.
Adam Wolf, you don't need to cry. We didn't get enough of the macaws for everybody.
Yeah, I wish.
Signature.
But that'll be what the special blend is for.
Mm-hmm. Aganorsa's signature selection is on Ron and I's short list.
Good, and that Mike, that's a very good guess too. Many people know I'm not a huge Oliva fan, but I like the V and the V series and the Milano. I still to this day think for the bang for your buck, which you can get them for, they're great cigars. And the V Lancero is a very solid cigar. But
all right, hold on, Lee Mack. We are having people guess what they think might be in September's box. You are obviously not allowed to respond to this. So there have been some good guesses, but Lee, please don't ruin it. I already had to fire Troy twice tonight. Esteban Carrera, that's a brand that keeps popping up, man.
I keep hearing about that one too. And speaking on Mystical's guest too, that's like James has had cigars that he's been wanting to work for a long time. That's one, if we're being honest, I've wanted to work with a long time. It's just it's very hard to get the volume because it's only made for Aganorsa select accounts. So there's only so many rolled and they still have to get them out to other accounts. So it's a very hard cigar to get a whole lot of inventory of. But trust me, if that's one that if that's one that you guys will probably end up seeing if inventory ever allows for, you will see that one.
And honestly, that's like that. I'll be even more transparent on. That cigar is one that's like why we don't want to grow any larger. Mm-hmm. It's because we know if we hit a certain number, we'll never be able to use that cigar.
Won't be able to feature anything like that. Nope.
But if we keep the cigar our size where we're at, we will be able to get that cigar. Black and Mild will be in there. Black and Mild, listen, that might be
not the jazz one either, the OG edition.
No, fuck that. They're getting jazz plastic tips.
Nah, yeah, I say plastic tips. We ain't doing no wood tips over here.
Nah, maybe we'll do wood. Lee, I'm assuming your box showed up if Carson got his.
Milwaukee P said if some broadleaf is in there, I'm good.
No broadleaf.
Jerry said, what about that cigar James had with no label? That was a beast.
Who said that one?
Jerry.
Jerry, that cigar is a motherfucking good cigar. And
what about Black and Mild Lancero? They do Lanceros.
So Black and Mild did make
it's a Lonsdale. It's like a Lonsdale, isn't it?
Is it, or is it a Corona?
Maybe it's a Corona with a tip added to it.
Yeah, it's too thick for a Corona. Listen, we might just go Dutch Masters Pall Mall, man. I might give everybody a bag, a 3-pack.
CLE Signature is a very good cigar. It's really hard to get. I'm assuming you're talking about the new release. The old release is very good. Me and Pete are very big. So he just commented. Me and Pete are very big fans of the old CLE Signature, which is damn near impossible to find.
Yeah.
If anybody sees those, James already knows certain cigars. If you see them, let me know.
Yep. Yeah. Well, so I posted it in the Facebook group a picture of I took the band off one of the cigars. That is, we're the first ones to have again, and shit's real good. Real good.
James, you did smoke that Saka cigar with pipe tobacco. You smoked one of the Dunbar cigars at PCA.
I did.
You told me it was very good. Yeah.
Yeah, the Stillwell Star. I smoked the aromatic version because there's 4 different versions, and I smoked the aromatic, and so there's 3 more. I liked it a lot. It was very, very good.
I remember you told me on the showroom floor. You were just like, "This is a very good cigar." You just know me. I know Steve gonna probably be charging $18-$19 for that damn cigar.
Yeah. We might just be doing give me box hundreds.
Andalusian Bull. Good guess, but that's another one. Hell, they having enough trouble even supply, which is weird because they have been hitting the store. So I guess they finally got their whatever they rolled aged to where they wanted it to and released it out.
Yeah.
But
so I would say there's a Habano in it. There's a Connecticut Shade,
Corojo,
and then I forget what the other one is that we dug out. We had them dig out of the warehouse for us.
It might be a Habano too.
I have a sheet in front of me that would tell me this if I would look at it.
Me too.
It's an Ecuadorian Habano.
Yeah, I was gonna say, knowing that person, he's a Habano guy. So,
so we got 2 Ecuadorian Habanos.
Cowboy said something in Cameroon.
Not yet.
Not this month, but we are. That's one we're exploring.
See,
that's one we're exploring. Me and James literally were just talking about a cigar that has a Cameroon wrapper that's very good. That we may try to work into the rotation soon. Very good cigar, Cowboy. I know you'd be all in on that one.
Fuck it. I don't say may. We bought it.
Yeah,
we bought it.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I was saying as far as the club that's what I say. I don't know if it'd be for the club. It'll be probably just for regular purchase. 601 Black. That's a good guess.
It's a good cigar. I want to give the people one thing, because you got to give the people what they want. And I don't know if I want to give them the second one though, but I do, because the second one is what the one we're like. It's there.
I think it'd be okay to say that one. You talking about the one you took the band off of?
No, that's the third one. The second one is the one that
the one we dug up.
Yeah, the big.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
Do we want to
it ain't gonna be like you're gonna be able to go out there and really just find it.
Well, but here's the thing: if I don't say it and you don't say it, but Lee Mac types it, then I can just smack Lee Mac's hand later. But I can say the run. I didn't say it. Lee Mac, do you want to go ahead and type the second cigar, the thing you asked me about if I had, that the club will be getting?
Mike, it will never be a pumpkin spice box. I hate pumpkin spice. I despise it. I hate pumpkin.
It's going to be an Oktoberfest.
which is funny. Me and Lee talked about that. That's actually one of the few cigars that they make that I think is decent. Like their portfolios usually.
We
that
still
cigar
have
actually.
Go ahead, bud.
What were you saying? You still got quite a few of them.
We still got 2016 releases.
Yeah, I was gonna say right now, if you find them too, they're gonna be aged. I remember we had some here locally, and I bought the rest of them over like a span of 6 months and just smoked them, and they were all very good.
La Galera Maduro. Yep. Listen, La Galera made some good shit. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care what anybody says. You want to know where Blackbird gets their tobacco from? Hochi and La Galera.
Nope.
She says so.
We wish. Say,
I'm trying to read comments. I'm missing Mystical. You're right. That the first release of the Bull was so much better than the current releases.
Yeah, that. I wish Justin, that's another good guess too. I don't know about the inventory on that either, but we got a chance to smoke the Fiat Lux and TPE. That was a very good cigar.
Mm-hmm. You all setting Lee Mac up? We are setting Lee Mac up, but I'm not going to confirm or deny.
Truth Hurst thinks La Galera is good too. Yeah, Milwaukee Pete pumpkin spice is trash. Pariah, I think so too. It's trash. Let's see. Well, it's not really that crazy, Cigar Snob, because the hype has been built up around it for well over a year now, and the marketing behind it is very good because it's not something that's produced in like 50. It's not like 50,000 or 100,000 cigars are made. So how you keep the hype relevant and how you keep the interest there is you don't make that many of them, and then you control it and they sell out quick. So, almost like you look at a pair of Jordans. tennis shoes. They only make 50,000 pairs, and there's millions of people that want them. It's gonna the interest is always there.
Maverick, you misquoted me. I never told Steve Saka that. I told Steve Saka something to that. And I never said he was going to take sales away from him. I just said he's the next up and coming guy. And there were other people who are calling Luciano like the next Pete Johnson. And they're calling, Ace Prime kind of like, and Luciano the next Tatuaje. That is multiple people are saying that because of how innovative he is.
I was gonna say maybe on the scale of innovation and as far as him putting out many good cigars, yes, but his cigars smoke so much different than even vintage Tatuaje stuff. Much different smoking experience.
I know. I wish Ashhead would do reviews again. I don't have Ron or Ashhead doing reviews anymore. Y'all up and quit on me. I'm stuck with old man Lee, who may have told you all, you're just not paying attention. But I can either confirm or deny.
I'm glad to see people enjoying the Bulls, though. Even though I'm glad to see that. I know.
I think it's just
Matches is crazy about him too. And I just tell people, I said, if you like him now, you should have had the first run before it won Cigar of the Year. The first run was, and for me, that's saying a lot because I don't like cigars that size. Or the Figurado had me interested, but just cigars that are that big, like, never really interest me. And it was a very good cigar.
Yo, Diamond, chill, brother. Lee, I wish more people understood the quality of that La Galera you're talking about.
The Habano is one of my all-time favorite cigars. The anniversary cigar that they do is very good. La Galera, the Dominican big leaguer with who we've already worked with before.
Yeah.
Certain companies, like Lee always describes the flavor as a Dominican twang. It's kind of off-putting on a lot of stuff. These companies like La Galera, Dominican big leaguer, those are a few companies that they make very good cigars with Dominican tobacco that don't smoke like traditional Dominican cigars do. Very, very different experiences.
Agree. 100% agree. Oh, I hoard a lot of shit. I'm not even going to pretend. The ashiest of the heads, baby. So I will tell you, Lee, it's been mentioned. So one of the cigars is a La Galera cigar. That's one of the cigars in the box. It's a hell of a cigar. And it's
Did we feature La Galera one other time?
We did.
Yeah. We did the Tubos. Yeah.
Yep. But this is a size that I don't think you see a lot because I know when I went to Google, like if you just do a Google search for it, some of the big boys don't even carry that size.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you have to think about it. Like La Galera Maduro, they're number one, right? Which is that little short guy. That is a fan favorite, man. We sell crap loads of that cigar. It's almost it's on par with
cigar a lot.
Yeah, it's on par with the Luciano Rothschild, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So La Galera is in the box. That's the only thing we'll give you. It's a real good fucking box.
Yeah, I think y'all will be pleased. If y'all had fulfillment and excitement with last month, y'all should have a good time with this one too. I'll be very excited to hear the feedback from you guys and see the excitement and stuff. I'll be happy to see this.
I think everybody can hear like the disappointment in my voice because we're not going to give them the big one, and I want to, but I can't do it. Just
a few more days. Y'all get it in a few days. Hell, some people might be getting it tomorrow, next day. It'll be coming in soon.
What's that? So Lee Mac's box is saying it arrives tomorrow, and so then it's really how fast can Lee Mac get a review out and tell the people so the people will know.
You know, Lee Mac nickname is same day.
He'll be sitting there,
AKA off the truck.
He's not going to drive truck tomorrow, I bet now.
I see Martin in there. That box. Ali, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, just I'm on my Kanye shit, man.
Yo, so I've probably listened to that like 3 times today, man.
Yep.
I'm not I'm feeling it, but I'm not.
Yeah. So me and Lee were talking about that too. So I like it. I don't think it's his best project, but I understand. So, like I was telling somebody, everybody's problem is they're trying to equate it to the college dropouts, the late registration,
No.
graduations. He's a different person.
I was just going to say it's a new version of Kanye.
He's different. He's been married. He's had kids. His life is different now. So it's almost kind of like, you know, if you grow up in the neighborhood and then you change, you get a career, you make a little bit more money, you're able to buy a better car. You're not the same person you were 20 years ago. So I appreciate it and I like it because I think, like I told somebody, I said, man, if you're used to listening to the Migos, Yo Gotti, Young Dolph, Ply, you're used to listening to stuff like that, just straight up hardcore, just straight up rap, you're not gonna like this. This is not gonna be. It's not gonna be something you like. If you're that person that if you're used to listening to abstract art, like you listen to. Good job, bud.
I was just you just nailed it with the abstract. It's more of a project. Like it's more of oh man, I'll take a cookie, but it's more of a project. Like it's not an album.
Right. I think because somebody was like, well, if he wanted to do a gospel album, I said, man, that Kanye had, you can just tell I can relate to him because Kanye probably has so much stuff going on through his head at all times. And the only way that he can convey it out to the world is through music. Because he can't sit and talk to somebody. I ain't trying to hear what he's saying. So music is his getaway. It's almost kind of like how I said, yeah, I was going through my time and depression and stuff like that too. And sometimes it's like I don't even know if I can. Here you go. I don't even know if I could talk to somebody really. You know, it's like I just sometimes you just gotta be to yourself and do your own thing. That's the only way that you can kind of get out of your rut and get out of it. So it's like I appreciate it for what it is. It's funny because everybody's waiting on Kendrick Lamar and Drake to drop, and I said, really, to be honest with you, the person that everybody's trying to chase after, in my opinion, for album of the year is Tyler, the Creator. His album was very good this year.
Yeah, I've just never been a big Tyler fan, like because he's too out there for me. Whereas, like the artist, the musician in me really appreciate. If you listen, like that Kanye album is deep. Like the themes, the motifs that he has reoccurring, how he sets and layers that whole album, it's so diverse and so complex.
Yes,
it is.
And so I know as you being a musician, even I take it differently from you because I know when you say, I don't know if I'm feeling it or if I like it, I know you can still look at it from a musical standpoint where a lot of people aren't. They're just, and I said, this is an album that you're not going to really be on the fence for the most part. You're either going to really like it or really not. And the people that don't like it after the third or fourth listen, then they'll probably convert over and end up liking it. But if you're looking for a Drake, because we all know what Drake is going to do. He's going to put a lot of hits on there. It's going to be probably 2 or 3 songs that'll be on the radio. None of the stuff that Kanye really produces on this album is radio material.
No,
none of it is.
It's like soul searching. You don't jump track from track. You let it play. Like you let it run into the next, and then hour and a half later, you realize you still have another half hour on the album.
It's literally life. You got some highs and some ups in there. You got some real slow melodies, really slow kind of depressing stuff. Then it goes up again. It's literally just a cycle. And like you said, Lee listened to it at 2 or 3 in the morning. And I said, that's perfect because what I would recommend somebody would do, like I told Keelan to do, I said, this is an album that at 8 it's got to be dark outside. You have your glass of whiskey or coffee or whatever. You got a cigar. Nobody's around you bothering you. You throw that on. Don't worry about hitting next track. You just smoke and just listen to it.
Yep.
That's what you got to do. You know, if you're that guy that's kind of sitting there on your phone waiting to hit next track after 10 seconds of it, it's like,
nope,
this isn't for you. This isn't the kind of stuff for you, you know?
There were so many points in there. Like, what is it? Jail that's got Jay-Z on it. It's like the first, second or third album or track.
Yep.
It's like, you don't even realize Jay's on there. Like if you would have skipped, you would have never heard Jay's part on that.
And the Hurricane track with The Weeknd I thought was very good with Lil Baby featuring on that was good.
Very good.
The album really doesn't start heating up to me until about track 9 or 10. It starts out really, really slow.
You want to know how I know it's good music? And this is kind of other than my personal opinion. So like I'm driving my kid to daycare, right? This morning it's on. And so he like the first minute, you know, he's like, oh, where's my music? I was like, oh, we're going to listen to this today, buddy. And like he didn't talk the rest of the way. He was just like zoned out listening, and I just saw him nod his head along to it. And I was like,
Oliver experiences music how I do. And I said,
Yep.
It's the same thing with the cigar. It's the same thing with certain fragrances. I could smoke a cigar and know that it's good, but it doesn't move me. It doesn't speak to me. I could smell a fragrance and I'm like, it smells good, but it doesn't. You know how you could smell something and you could close your eyes when you smell it and it puts you in a place. When I listen to Kanye's stuff, it puts me in an area, whether it's good or bad, it moves me and puts me somewhere. I could listen to 2 Chainz or whatever, or Young Dolph. I'm like, that's cool, but it doesn't really move me though. It's just I listen to it. So, like you just said earlier, it's art. It's a form of art, man. I think it's special because 95% of people that we associate and listen to, they can't channel it.
Now, but ultimately, the value and the appreciation I hope people see is how many, like you've talked about this openly because you listened to Tyga before, like way before I did, right? We've had this conversation multiple times. Like,
right.
You know, I know Tyga from Black and Yellow, which most people do.
Or Wiz, or you talking Wiz?
Well, Wiz, sorry,
Yep.
And that's how much I still don't know because I don't listen to it.
Right.
But hearing you talk, I make the assumption that it's not a reflection of him, right? It is his producers and the record company controlling what goes out. Whereas this album with Kanye is a reflection of him. Like, we talked about all the shit in his life that he's had the last 5 years, the ups and the downs, the highs and lows, like committee or thinking about suicide and all that other stuff.
Divorce now.
Yeah, like that album is a reflection of his demons, his highs, his lows, and that is at least authentic.
And you know what? You got to respect Kanye even if you don't like the album because, like I said too, he does what 95% of the industry can't. What he could leave Universal right now. You know how many labels would be screeching and crying or screaming to reach and get at him?
Yep.
No matter what kind of that's bad. All right, you think it's bad? Go see if Interscope or Def Jam or whoever don't want to re-sign him or get back to him. What he does, he has pretty much creative control over his projects, which, like Wiz, I used to listen to him and you could tell where it shifted and it changed, where it was like, all right, he went from doing what he wanted to do, where you could tell the machine was behind him telling him what to do. And that was the difference, and you could see that. So it's like when your net worth jumps from 15 million to 60 million, it's like, all right, I get it now. I see what's going on behind it.
But Pariah, you say, Kanye ain't been right since his mom died. I mean, who would be though? And for him to still put himself out there, like he's not running from who he's evolved and changed into, right? And so like I think it's in Ron started when he said like you're trying to compare him to College Dropout and all those early albums.
Right. He was different. He was in his early 20s and shit then. Like he didn't have as much money. He wasn't into fashion. He wasn't married. He wasn't a father. Like you know what I mean? Like, and I always tell people, if you're the same person that you were 5 or 10 years prior, then something's wrong, Look I wasn't a dad 10 years ago. I wasn't like I'm a different person than I was at 21, 22 years old. So it's like I understand it. So like when I go into listening to certain things, I have to understand where he's coming from. So I don't know. I thought this was a very solid project. I don't think it's gonna be. Like I just said in the very beginning, I don't think it's his best work, but I think it's solid though. I think it's very solid. And this is one of the ones where there are going to be the people that still think it's trash and don't like it, but the people that like it, that's one of the ones in 5 or 10 years we'll be talking about it. When maybe a new wave of music comes around where there are more creative people and we're like, man, Kanye spawned all this.
Yep. So I talk about, there's like one album that it just kind of resonates with me and I've listened to it for years now and it's always in my rotation no matter what mood I'm in because it's always something. It's Commissioner Washington's The Epic, right? It's a 3-disc. I don't know. It's on digital. I have the copies somewhere. But this is very similar to that because it's just a free expression of what he was feeling in that moment. Right. And it's jazz, but the reality is, and it's got Thundercat and his band on it and everything. But it's like the reality is that can never be produced again because times have changed, people have changed, and you really have to like just see how it holds the test of time. And for me, it's held tremendously. And when I was listening to this Kanye album, this is what that reminded me of. Like personally, it was like connects at multiple levels. And Lee Mack said it right. Like he's trying to get us all to heaven, man. He's trying to do his job, but it was such a good balance of what some of his like religious albums have been to this new stage where he realizes maybe that's not the best approach, because he's never like going to be a top 10 guy. Like he's not there for the views or the plays. Right. He's always there for the quality. Like Drake is always going to beat him.
He's a hit maker.
Yeah,
that's what he does. He makes hits. Like it's and what Cowboy said, Kanye is searching for his true self. This last album shows that, in my opinion, and I would agree with it, because, but at the same time, I'm always going to respect it, because even though I'm not a hip hop artist or a musician, I can relate to that on a general standpoint. Whereas I go through life and I feel like I'm always trying to reinvent myself, or always trying to figure out how I can better myself, or how I can convey myself out better to the public, or I'm always constantly thinking. So like Lee Mack said it literally earlier, he said, if you're not really a creative person, you're not going to understand. It's like,
no.
And that's no shot at everybody. Everybody's different. You know what I mean? Like some people are meant to be bosses. Some people are meant to be workers. It's just kind of, some people are creative. Some people are not. So it's not meant for everybody to understand, but I think the people that do understand it can gain something from it. Like I said, I think it's a great project. And to me, Kanye has done so much for hip hop and has spawned so many artists that people don't even realize. Like J. Cole's not where he's at or who he is without Kanye. Mm-hmm. He's even made songs about even about his displeasure about where he feels like Kanye is going, but you can still hear the influence that he's had on J. Cole's career and hip hop journey. There's a song called False Prophets. If anybody's ever heard it, or you haven't heard it, go look up J. Cole's False Prophets. He's talking about Kanye and Wale in that song, both of them. Just go listen to that song. And if you don't think that Kanye has any influence on a lot of the younger people that are in the hip hop community, dude, that dude was groundbreaking when he first came out. Nobody was doing it. I mean, as you know how much I love Q-Tip.
Yeah, you do.
Dude, Kanye is Q-Tip on steroids, man. Like, he's...
Sorry, I'm looking at my computer at orders too and stuff, because it is that time of the night. I just gotta say, man, what makes me really fucking happy and is like, I'm not gonna say his name, but he just got a 5-pack of the Macaw, the Blackbird limited edition, free because he used all his reward points. And it's like, it's just nice to see that, man. Like, because I'm not in it for the money, because that'll come by doing the right thing. And it's just kind of cool to see that. So I'm not going to say his name, but I hope you're happy, man, because I appreciate you being a loyal supporter and outside of the club using your discount code. But I'm glad you're able to use your reward points to get that 5-pack free. All you had to pay was the shipping.
That's a deal.
Yeah. So I know we like flipped it off there. So yeah,
I agree, Lee Mac. I agree.
100%. I was just going to chime in on that. Like, you don't see how you just don't see how he's setting it up from a melodic standpoint, like the chord progressions and the changes, and how, because it's so thin at some points, and then it's like, oh shit, like I had to roll it back like 30 seconds to hear the progressions that he had going.
It's just absolutely crazy what he's able to do, and it's just like, and I tell people this all the time too, and this isn't just for Kanye, this is just anything. Judge the person, or if he's a musician, listen to his music and judge the music. So many people can't get past him wanting to run for president and all the stuff he's been involved in. So unfairly, they judge him. They prejudge the guy without even listening to the product. That's crazy motherfucker that went for president. So they already have a preconceived notion of what they think he is without really even giving him a fair shake. And that's what I always tell people. Judge Kanye on his music, man.
I was waiting for an album or a track called 2024, though. I was waiting for it.
He might, you know what? And he's probably like Prince and Michael Jackson. I'm sure there's so much music that Kanye has that's just not released.
Oh yeah.
I can just, he's a studio rat. Because that's probably literally, like I was saying earlier, that's probably one of the only few places in the world he actually feels safe. Yeah. With the doors locked and him just being able to be with his MPCs and his instruments and just by himself, man.
I know. Pariah, if you're talking crypto, you got to mess with Risty, Jocelyn Crawl. That dude has given me more advice. Just follow him or friend him on Facebook, man. That dude every day has some crypto advice that has made me some money. I'll just say that nicely. So that's kind of why I also like Risty, because he's made my bank account fat outside of Black Lion.
I'd say Risty's a really smart dude.
Yeah, he cued me into a couple early stock or crypto things that I dumped some cash in. That it was just like, hey, wait 6 months, and it's going to gain 10 cents off of, it started at like a hundredth of a penny, and it got up to a dime, and it's like, cashing out, good to go.
I agree, Prue. I'm right there with you too. I think and I look at him because he's so versatile, right? Like I look at him as not as a complete artist. Like I look at people always, well, if they were still alive, Prince and Michael Jackson could do a verses, and it's like they both are great in their own rights. But I would be lying if I say I wasn't more impressed with Prince, because not only could he perform on stage and sing, but he can also compose music. So I look at Kanye where it's just not him walking and getting on a microphone and spitting bars. It's him producing the track. It's him mixing and mastering his own stuff. It's like the guy is invaluable, man. Like I just look at the overall bigger picture. It's like, you could get the guy that scores 30 points a game, or you can get the guy that scores 20, give you 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. Who's more valuable?
What was his Sunday service called? Like Sunday in the Wild or Church in the Wild?
I think it was, and I really was a fan of that stuff, man. Like,
so if you just like strip away, like depending on how you feel about religious music or just religion in general, if you actually just strip away like the actual lyrics and you listen, so I have a soft spot. I've said it openly on here multiple times. I believe is like it's real music, right? Those were real musicians on live drums and instruments. They weren't pre-recorded. There was no track. It was live, and that is beautiful in today's world, and all the shit that people sit behind Pro Tools and think they can just do whatever the hell they want and be special
and call themselves musicians. It's comical.
But yeah, so the actual music at that stuff was just great. I know some people got offended because he was pretty open where the roots of some of that stuff was coming from. And like we live in a divisive world, so I'm not going to like go down this rabbit hole, but they got offended because of that aspect rather than the fact it's like, no, this shit is actually really good live musicians.
It is very good music. Yeah, the choir's involved and stuff in it too. And it's like, here's one of the things too, even if you aren't a religious person, if you're hearing some of that stuff and your head ain't nodding or you ain't, feeling some type of way, like, I don't know, there ain't nothing in your body that's alive then, it's like, you could be an atheist and hear some of this stuff like, man, this shit pretty good, like, I like this.
Man, I'm about ready to ban Pariah from your chat, brother. Permanently.
Pariah been doing this shit for over a year, probably the length of my channel. What Dave Chappelle used to say, or what he was referring to Rick James on the Chappelle show, a habitual line crosser.
I'm just saying, like, trying to tell everybody that LeBron is better than Jordan, man. Basically. There's just certain lines, like you can only bash Padrones and Jordan so many times. Before I try to break into your account and block him,
Oh man, yeah. See, that's him, man. He's a habitual line crosser, man. That's Rick James stomping on the couch with dirty feet. That's him.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yo, Ben Harper is the truth, man. That is some good shit right there.
Ben Harper, I like Ben Harper.
Yeah, and he's only. What?
But see,
early 2000s?
That is the difference because, all right, me and James, I probably like Kanye's album more at this point than James, but it's not saying he doesn't like it. But then again, it's not just listening to one genre. Like I listen to jazz, I listen to blues, I listen to pop music, I listen to pretty much anything but heavy metal. So my playlist can go from Al Jarreau to Incubus to 311 to The Doors to Queen. I listen to everything. If the music is good, I'm there. Like it's not one of those, oh, it's trash, man. Like you gotta broaden your spectrum song, man. You can't just be cornered into one area.
Yep.
Same thing with cigars, man. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah, I guess we should bring it back to cigars.
Yeah.
With that said, Ron.
We've been up for almost 2 hours.
I know, man. I didn't mean that.
But
habitual Einstein.
That's him, man. That is him. But like overall, I'm glad to hear that everybody enjoyed August's box. Looking forward to hearing the feedback about September. Like I said, keep tagging us in the stories. Keep preaching the good word. Like I said, even though the club is closed, that doesn't mean we don't need to, or we stop telling people about how good we feel like the club is. So who knows? Maybe we'll get one of those mentions when Half Wheel does their top cigar clubs of the month. It's just like you look at some of the stuff like, how we've been around long enough. How there's no way you could say you ain't heard about us yet, So
I kind of hope they never do. I just kind of want us to be this cult thing under the radar that everybody, if you know, you know. Like,
right.
I don't need the accolades.
No, but you don't need them, but it's still always nice to see hard work being appreciated, though.
Yeah, but I'll say this, and this isn't like kissing ass to the club members. That's all I need, man. Like, when you guys rock with us, you support us, you say the nice things, you give the feedback every month, that's kind of all I'm looking for, man. Like, it's flattering, because like that's the shit that matters, because you guys are actually paying the money and trusting us, whereas like those guys would probably ask for a box for free.
Yeah, Maverick, you're right. He said I don't think Half will even like cigars. It has a couple. It's reviewers out here that don't like cigars either, but we don't get started on it.
Yeah, about that one about got the Facebook group blocked today. I was like, don't put that dumb shit in the Facebook group.
I ain't gonna lie though. I'd be lying if I say I didn't get a good laugh out of it though. I was like, what?
I let it be for a while.
Yeah.
I saw it when he posted it right away. I just let it be though. Because I wanted everybody else to get a good chuckle at it, but at the same time, I was like, all right, no more, please. I like the community that, the guys and the girls are all together in the Facebook group, and, we can talk and have all that fun, but I don't need it being closed.
Oh, yeah. We need to try to keep it around. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll make sure next month me and James get a day where it's not towards the end of the month, where it's a little bit probably towards the middle of the month. We'll try to get a day going.
We'll try. Yeah, it's just been busy. Ron and I both, we joked about it today because I texted like 2 hours at 5:30 or my time, and I was like, "Yo, is your schedule still good? Because mine is still good." And he's like, "Yes." I was like, "All right, first time in about like 6 weeks."
Yeah, that everything, man. Stuff going around the house. James, you got your stuff going on. It's like
we got some stuff going on. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of had to tap out Sunday. I would have had all the boxes done. I'll be pretty square, but I woke up and I was like, I want to go to Hershey Park with my kid because I need a mental day. And so I went to Hershey Park and took it when I came in late and worked on the boxes instead. Then I was like, it was just too much shit. So like the dog swallowed a sock. So there was emergency surgery there. The wife is pregnant. She's down to her last, 6 to 8 weeks, depending on which doctor we talk to. And yeah, how those things, everybody knows it's life, man. It's how those things go. The dog swallowing the sock and blocking his stomach was not fun though.
Yeah.
So. Oh, Pry, I'm just gonna let it be. Pry, I'm just gonna stop talking to you. Phil Jackson did not instill the drive in Michael Jordan.
I was about to say probably statistically he was better before Phil got there. Like we're looking at just straight stats.
But not only that, like, so we talked about this conversation, or was it you and I? No, it might have been somebody else, right? It's the Draymond Green versus Ben Simmons conversation with Golden State, what they should do. Mm-hmm. And is Ben Simmons a better basketball player than Draymond Green? Absolutely. Would I pick Draymond Green over Ben Simmons for the Warriors every day of the week? Absolutely. Because Draymond Green,
without question, yeah.
He is. They have him maxed out, an efficiency rating at 100% at everything he does.
Well, and even more so too, like Draymond displays a lot more leader qualifications than Ben Simmons does. Give me that every day of the week. Whereas if something's going wrong in the locker room, I'm not even confident that Ben would even step up and talk to the people in the locker room.
Exactly.
I can see him just sitting over there like cowering away, looking down. Draymond would step up and be like, "Hey man, y'all fucking up,"
And that's the thing. Like, there's just inherent things that come with each person that you have, and then your coach figures out, like any good boss either. figures out how to capitalize and take you to that next level, or you maximize your efficiency.
You know where Draymond really proved a lot to me in the year that, or the 2 years that they had Kevin Durant, because he could have easily just kind of fell back and been literally the fourth guy, but it was almost like he went like, I don't care if Steph and Clay here or you here, like I'm still finna be the same Draymond. And to me, that showed a whole lot. I was like, man, you got arguably probably a top 5 NBA scorer of all time, or most prolific scorer of all time, coming to your team. It's easy to kind of fall back and just kind of go on the wayside. He's like, nah, man, like we were successful before you got here. When you come in, you're going to go by the system that we got going to, and this is what we're going to do,
Yeah. Pryor, I will give Pryor a lot of credit because this man gets dragged after every comment.
Oh, obviously. I'm telling you, it's been going on. Pariah, it don't matter if it's in my chat or Lee's chat. Pariah is going to say something off the wall, and he's going to be sitting there until the stream goes off talking that shit. That's what he's going to do.
I'll give him credit because he don't run away, man. He opens that can of worms and just stands there in the eye of the hurricane.
And they both needed each other like Brady and Belichick, man. They just fit. What happened with that is it's called timing. The timing for them was perfect.
Yep.
Both of them needed each other just like Jordan needed Scottie Pippen. Like the timing was perfect.
Shaq and Kobe.
The
Kobe
timing was Kobe and Gasol.
Yep.
And I say this to this day, Pau Gasol, and I got to watch him a lot in Memphis. Pau Gasol is the most underrated elite NBA player probably to ever play. He's the most underappreciated player. That dude's skill set was unreal.
Yep.
And he's overlooked all. I mean, he just so happened to play the same position Dirk Nowitzki played. Dirk could handle the ball a little bit better, could shoot a little bit better, but Powell was very versatile. And Kobe doesn't repeat without Powell. Doesn't have
you. And I love me that.
Me and you both are huge Kobe guys. Pau Gasol is the X factor on that team.
He is, and he doesn't get enough love, man. Not
at all. And the fact that people were trying to compare Mark's better. I said, y'all think Mark is better than Powell?
They don't watch enough basketball.
I just shrugged my shoulders, man. I was like, all right, man. Okay.
Yeah.
But anything you want to leave the good people with?
I'm just catching up on Pariah. I'm just letting it be. I'm going to let it be. Folks, as always.
September coming right around the corner.
As we speak, literally. Troy, thank you, Troy. Troy is working hard. I'm going to go join Troy here since I did my 2-hour sabbatical to talk a shitload of shit. I really hope you all are impressed with September, and I hope you're happy because September is a big leap for us. And kind of a couple of cigars that are in there, but more so, I think it's also a validation of what we've been able to do over the course of 13 months. And we're not here without our club members and the company seeing that and understanding the value of what we're trying to do and the change and just all the shit that comes with, man, a $30 a month club that's no frills, nothing, no red tape to cut through. It's just opening a box and enjoying cigars out of it that are just very, very, very good cigars that you can get again. So not
really much more I can say on that. Y'all know September is my birthday month, so be looking out for the birthday sampler. Me and James will be piecing together. So
I got to do that one.
I'll be working on that diligently, and hope you guys enjoy that, man. But on that note, get up out of here, take this shower. Got to work tomorrow. I know James is gonna be working hard for you guys, so we appreciate you guys, especially I always appreciate you guys sight unseen without any warnings or anything like that popping in when y'all see the notification to hop in and come hang out with us for a couple hours. That does not go unnoticed. I really, really appreciate that. I know it's a little bit weird when me not posting as much to see notifications, so that means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to James too. Very, very, very appreciative of that. And on that note, man, we'll see y'all next month, man. Y'all know the name of the game is Relaxation and Enjoyment. Don't forget to be driven, never motivated. Hashtag BLLCOTM, pup with a pride. Y'all be good, man. Salute.
Hey, and on your way out, pump up Lee Max so he gets that video out tomorrow so y'all can wait or so you can see it, or you can just wait to see it when you get your box. But Lee Max should have it tomorrow. So you pump them up however you want.
All right, man. Y'all be good.
All right, take care, guys. Peace, everybody.
Peace.